Hi folks, Steve Vai here, and I can remember from many years ago, I always enjoyed music theory. I always wanted to understand it and know it and own it, so to speak. And a lot of people always ask me, a lot of guitar players, if music theory is important to understand in order to be a great musician. And my answer is usually, not necessarily. You don't always have to know anything about music theory to be a great musician, because being a great musician requires a very powerful imagination and confidence. And if you have those, then you can make music that's very powerful. But even then, it's probably a good idea to know at least the basics of music theory. So I wrote a book, and this is it. And it's called Videology, Basic Music Theory for Guitar Players. And it came out last year, and it's been doing so well that it's been translated into many languages, and this new Japanese version just came out. And I know that Japanese guitar fans are really intense. They really love the guitar. And now that you can read Videology, it's fantastic to learn the basics. Now, music, it's like a language, obviously. And it's a language that musicians communicate in. And so many times I see young musicians feeling very intimidated of music theory, and they'll actually even, go, "Oh no, I don't know music theory. I'm not." But it's really very simple. And once you learn the simple basics of the language, it makes communicating with other musicians so much easier. And also it has the potential to really open up your creativity, your improvisation, your songwriting. And it's not very difficult. Look, if I could do it, I'm serious. I was terrible at learning a language. I could never learn any other language. I was terrible in school even English. I was terrible. History, I can't even tell you when the War of 1812 was. But music theory, piece of cake. And not only did I enjoy music theory, I really loved it. And I wanted to understand everything about it. And I studied and studied, and I learned how to compose for orchestras. And it's been very helpful for me through the years. And I love teaching. So I decided to write this book. And it covers the basics so that you can understand the language, but it goes very deep if you're interested in going very deep. And it's not guitar lesson, I'm not teaching, how to learn technique or how to practice exercises. It's about the theory behind scales. It teaches all about modes, synthetic modes, rhythm, how to write music, how to read music, how to understand what the little black dots mean. And there's a whole section on tablature. And the way that I laid it all out was very practical, because there's nothing worse when you get a book and you're reading it and they expect you to understand what they're writing about, and if you don't, you're just lost. So I'm like that. I have to be told when I'm reading every little detail so that I can learn properly, or else the wheels come off. So that's the way I wrote this book. It's very carefully built so that it doesn't become fatiguing or overwhelming, But it really is a very beneficial, very, very beneficial to take a book like this and to read it through, even if you just read it once. And if you study it, that's all the better. But you can pick up things very quickly on basic music terminology, so that even when you're talking with another musician, you don't sound like an ignorant McNugget. So this is it. Videology, Basic Music Theory for Guitar Players. And I hope you enjoy it. And I loved writing it for you. So thanks.